Here on the Pulse on Campus, we're all about the kind of the view from the fans' perspective of college sports. That's really what we're all about here. And one site that recently popped up, not too long ago actually, has really been catching the eye of us here at the Pulse, especially on the Pulse on Campus. Kyle McNaught, the producer of this show, and myself, we've really been looking at this site, and they've been raising up some interesting issues, some different topics out there, kind of playing the card of what if? Wondering what if this were to happen? What do you guys think? So one of the person that basically has put this kind of site together, we welcome in Aaron Torres. You know, Kyle McNaught and I, we kind of stumbled upon it. We saw, just a couple tweets coming out right in the very beginning. Kind of, how did this whole thing come to fruition, really?
Ben Koo is the name of the CEO of BlogUN, and kind of they had been looking at kind of the business model, I guess you would say, that Yahoo has they have an unbelievable stable of kind of sports-specific blogs, and Dr. Saturday is probably the best-known one, especially that it's the college football one. NBC Sports has kind of taken on the pro football talk, hardball talk, and
yep,
they were just kind of looking to start a college football blog at the beginning of this fall, and they reached out to myself and another guy by the name of Alan Kenny, who runs a excellent Oklahoma Sooners themed football site for the BlogUN network, and kind of liked our work and said, we're trying to do this college football homepage where fans of the BlogUN network can go for updates on news, opinions, stuff like that. And they reached out to the two of us and asked us if we were interested, and Alan and I kind of bounced some ideas off each other, and we absolutely agreed. I've worked with Alan before, really enjoy his work, and then Ben, again, as the CEO, kind of said, I give you kind of free reign to kind of browse around and see if you can get any other writers interested, and he recommended a few guys, and Alan and I talked as well, and two guys that I know that you're really familiar with, Mike Felder from InTheBleachers.net and Kevin McGuire, who writes for just about every publication under the sun.
Yeah, I was going to say, you name it, he's written for it.
Well, I'm sure when you introduce him on the show, you have to spend half the show just kind of talking about everywhere that he writes for. But, I've gotten to know those two guys in specific really well over the last year or so, and I really respect kind of not only their work ethic, but their knowledge of college football, their writing ability, their opinions. I quite frankly just really like working with them. And so kind of that core four of us plus another guy named Tom Perry, who I've gotten to know really well, have kind of come up with this website, Crystal Ball Run. We're going to have some other guys contributing here and there over the course of the year. But what it really is just kind of a place to go, for the casual fan sitting in their cubicle 9 to 5, don't have time to kind of refresh the Twitter account every 30 seconds like, losers like I do. Don't have time to go to ESPN 3 or 4 times a day. Maybe go to Crystal Ball Run, and that's kind of our goal. Come there for the 2, 3, 4 stories of the day that you don't have time to, look at every individual site and just say, what's going on in the world of college football today? What do I need to know? What's the most important information? Get, the straight facts, get maybe a paragraph or two of opinion, and then kind of move on with your day. But, again, it's a lot like you see with the NBC Sports websites, with the Yahoo Sports sites, and, we're just trying to build this. And, I think that the best way to do that is with talented guys, and I certainly think that we have 5 guys that I really enjoy working with, and we're just kind of taking this by the day like everybody else.
What I find interesting about this, and maybe you could speak more to it, is when I saw the site, when we first found it, we were like, okay, it launched when nothing really relevant to college football was really taking place. Talk about, where do you guys hope this thing to actually go to? I mean, obviously, the season's starting up. Things are going to be picking up for you guys in a big way.
And I think yesterday was kind of to me a pretty good indication of everything that this site is going to have to become as we actually have actual news stories to break. And definitely, you're right, those first few weeks it was nice because we could kind of pre-plan stuff, and we could kind of get some well thought out pieces ready to go for a 9 a.m. launch or whatever. And really yesterday, we've certainly tried to cover the big news stories, but yesterday it just seemed like one thing after the other after the other. We woke up and, there's this report that you're showing right now that Miami is going to probably suspend some of the accused players in that Yahoo report.
Mm-hmm.
And then Texas A&M starts with their chirping again about the SEC. And then LSU suspends their wide receiver. And now you've got the newest update at LSU. And that's kind of where I think the website's going to go